Hey guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Okay, so I've already shuffled, okay, and this is what we have. We have the strength card, okay, we have the 5 of Swords in reverse, we have the death card, we have like a judge card in reverse, a banker card, okay, and then the 6 of Swords in reverse. So we have some sort of a corrupt judge, okay, who wanted to bring an ending, okay. This corrupt judge thought that they was more stronger and they was more powerful, and they had the strength to gain some sort of control over masculine or feminine in the courtroom because they wanted their bank balance to go up, and they tried to stop some sort of forward movement. They could have tried to call for a gagging order because they didn't want you to speak out about what was going on down in the courtroom and what they was doing. We have the Lovers card in reverse. It's linking to an ex. We've got the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. Those who collaborated together with corrupt law, they're all losing their job. They didn't want to see you become a star, okay, or they didn't want somebody to see you as a star. This ex, they wanted to become a star, okay. 5 of Cups, they wanted you to lose in some sort of a court proceeding because they wanted their bank balance to go up, and they could have been an assassination of character, okay. Assassination of character. We have the Chariot card. They wanted to see you lose control, okay. They wanted to see you lose control. I'm getting that this ex doesn't work either, but they took hold of some sort of money in some sort of court proceeding. Then we have the 4 of Swords. They wanted to see you in some sort of isolation. They wanted to gain some sort of control because maybe if you left this ex however many years ago, they lost control over you years back, and through some sort of court proceedings they wanted to gain back some sort of control, and a corrupt judge helped them to try and gain control in some sort of court proceeding. Could have been some sort of power of attorney, okay. It could be something to do with child or children, and what they have done with the 6 of Cups in reverse is very childish, okay, very childish. There was a lot of clerking. We've got a Virgo, a Hermit. There was a lot of clerking, okay. There was a lot of clerking, so quite possibly some sort of identity theft, a lot of online stalking, and they was committed to gambling with masculine or feminine's life online. A lot of online stalking. Certain ex who's been stalking online, account hacking, wanted to gain some sort of control, and the judge has let them, okay, because they want their bank balance to go up. So it's definitely something to do with money. They wanted some sort of celebrity status. 7 of Swords in reverse, all the threes there. They've been caught out, and they're going to have to come clean, okay. They've been getting crystal ball readings. They've been doing a lot of spell work. So this ex wants to watch masculine or feminine any way, shape or form, watch them online, hacking their social media accounts, okay, paying for crystal ball readings. Corrupt judge has also helped them, and they're linking to somebody who works within a bank, okay. That could be a bank assistant, somebody who there's some sort of love connection. So they have been either, there's somebody connected to this ex who is in a relationship with either a corrupt judge or somebody who works in a bank, or they was in some sort of relationship, okay. Through court proceedings, they want you to act like some sort of a big man, okay, in the courtroom, if I want to gain power and control over you, okay, and if I want to make out like I'm more stronger than you in the courtroom, then I can. And if these corrupt law officials are going to help me gain some sort of control over you again, because they lost that many years ago, something to do with friends, and something to do with housing, somebody who used to work in a bank, connections to a bank, and somebody who works within selling houses, who wants to strut around like there's some sort of a celebrity. They have some sort of attorney, a corrupt attorney, okay, some sort of power of attorney in some sort of court proceedings, called for some sort of gagging order because they didn't want this to get out, an attempted ending on masculine or feminine, which was all orchestrated. Then we have the 10 of Wands to bring some sort of stress because they wanted to see masculine or feminine have some sort of a mental breakdown, try and get masculine or feminine stressed out so they can gain control over them in a courtroom in a corrupt way. So it was all orchestrated, all the fives there. It was all orchestrated. They tried to force some sort of mental breakdown through some sort of spell work. They was making deals, okay, shaking hands behind the scenes, and they had it all mapped out. They've been whipping up some sort of right storm, and there's some fabric here. They've been fabricating a lot of evidence, and they've all been smiling with each other while they've been playing this tug of war and whipping everything off masculine or feminine. That could be children, okay, that could be some sort of work, that could be it's definitely something to do with money, and they've split this amongst themselves, and their bank balance went up overnight. Somebody's bought a house or a home in this connection, they've paid off some sort of rent, or they've paid off some sort of mortgage, or they've been like selling houses, auctioning houses, and then shifting money from accounts to accounts. That's the truth. And they did this to somebody whose heart is as light as a feather, somebody who has been fighting for justice for a long time. So there is going to be some sort of justice. What they have done is heartbreaking with the Three of Swords. They could have been catching flight tickets. They could have some money in some sort of offshore overseas accounts, okay? We've got the 10 of Cups. It's a very dysfunctional family. 10 of Cups in reverse. Very dysfunctional family, creating some sort of a broken home, okay? Unhappy home, very dysfunctional. We've got the King of Swords, Libra, Gemini or Aquarius, wanted to stick the boot in because they was jealous of their ex being all happy, having everything together, and they didn't want that. They didn't want to see their ex be happy. They wanted to team on it with corrupt law, corrupt government, okay, to take everything and have masculine or feminine in some sort of isolation because they are jealous of them being a star, some sort of inspirational like character, an inspirational person. We have the King of Wands in reverse, someone who's very ruthless, could be linking to some sort of warlock, it could be linking to a coven where they're all misogynistic warlocks. So they've all got very ruthless. 8 of Swords in reverse, and then we have piecing the puzzle together, and then we have a lot of mind games. They've played a lot of mind games, and they don't want anyone to piece this puzzle together because they don't want to go to prison. They also try to create some sort of mental entrapment with this ruthless, could be law official, okay, who masculine or feminine has known since a baby, a ruthless law official. Oh no, could be somebody in the family, somebody connected to child or children, a ruthless law official, okay, who doesn't want the light shining on them and what they've been doing. But we've got an undercover investigator who's been investigating this corrupt law, this corrupt government organisation. They have their bank accounts on watch. Then we have a lawyer So they've also gone to some sort of lawyer or solicitor. That secret has been revealed. They went to a lawyer or they went to a solicitor, okay? They could have, with this Virgo Hermit card, thought masculine or feminine was an easy target because they was on their own and they wanted them outnumbered. We have the Star card again and the World in reverse. So these karmics wanted this stardom putting onto them. 10-10. They wanted to be seen as the star, okay? They wanted to be seen as the victor. They wanted to be seen as all strong and powerful and act like the big man. So they're very depressed, okay? They wanted to create some sort of depression. And we have 9 of Pentacles in reverse and the 9 of Wands. They was playing games. They wanted to thoroughly remove some sort of financial stability, okay? Through some sort of court proceedings, they labelled masculine or feminine as incompetent to remove their financial stability, to try and remove their independent business because they wanted control over either this independent business or this masculine or feminine's full life, and started a lot of malicious gossip with the 3 of Cups in reverse, and they're very mentally weak because they need all these corrupt law officials to help them. There's been a lot of conflicts, a conflicts of interest, okay? This one's deep with this family who love malicious gossip. It runs deep and they want some sort of recognition, 1122. They want some sort of recognition, some sort of stage presence. They've got 10 of Swords in reverse. They could have tried to do some sort of hexes, a lot of backstabbing, a lot of deceit, a lot of betrayal. Because of this malicious gossip and snatching everything and constantly taking everything through corrupt law, they wanted masculine or feminine to take themselves out. Yeah, they dream about this because with the 8 of Swords in reverse, they don't want to go to prison for what they've done. So they've just been dreaming and probably been doing dream magic, probably wanting some sort of sexual images of masculine or feminine uploaded online on some sort of websites too. Okay, so there could be something to do with sex trafficking, okay, yeah, betrayal, street rats, some sort of rats, deceit, backstab, traitor, not to be trusted, and they could be all ratting on each other. They're all backstabbers. There could be also some gang stalking. None of these people are to be trusted. They've got caught getting a room together, discussing what they was doing, how this was going to go down. Again, they had it all mapped out and they've been trying to burn some sort of evidence to get rid. They did call some sort of a gagging order with corrupt law and they all teamed up together to kick masculine or feminine to the curb, okay, because they viewed it as some sort of a game, alright. A lot of men and women involved and somebody, some undercover, is setting the record straight. They are all under investigation, perjury, lying on earth. They all teamed together. They all wanted to destroy masculine or feminine and they all wanted to come on up. They wanted their bank balance to come on up. They wanted some sort of stardom, okay? Something to do with recorded. So their phone calls are being recorded, okay? And their text messages. Everything's been getting recorded because they're under investigation and they know they fucked up. They all fucked on up. Every single one of these people are losing their job, and if anyone has a connection to somebody who works in a bank, either a love relationship, and they've been getting involved in some sort of money laundering, they're going down too. So be expecting a new beginning. We've got outdated, old news. This has been going on for a long time. They don't want to be revealed for being some sort of a hater. And with this sexual protection in reverse, there is something surrounding sex trafficking. So even corrupt law has helped an ex, and corrupt law know they've messed up as well, because they're all getting done for sex trafficking. They're all getting done for sexual assault. Okay, they wanted this to be on video, and even these fake friends wanted masculine or feminine to be falling to pieces and falling apart because they were jealous of that strength. They was jealous of some sort of control what they have. They were jealous of line of work, jealous of their own friend having some sort of star-like quality, what they wanted for themselves. So these rats all teamed on up and joined with an ex, a corrupt judge, okay, corrupt copper, corrupt attorney, corrupt lawyer and solicitor, and they didn't even think that anyone would even dare investigate them. 1515. They thought no one's ever going to dare investigate us. They've all been in private relationships, okay? Anyone who masculine or feminine gets with these corrupt officials, this corrupt ex, okay, will have them stalked, will have them harassed, okay, will have friends and stuff sent towards them. So there is something to do with cameras. And then they don't want masculine or feminine to stand up against this or fight. So they've tried to remove some sort of power in the courtroom, and they don't want masculine or feminine to stand up and fight for justice, okay? And again, they are all under investigation. They've been putting on a good show. They have. They've been getting involved in drugs trafficking, okay, and actually drugsing the victim, this masculine or feminine, so they can get some sexual videos of them while they're out for the count and have that uploaded online. They've been gambling with it, masculine or feminine's life. They've been caught out. Okay, there's going to be some sort of confession. Somebody in this group is going to come clean. There's going to be some sort of red. Yeah, they wanted masculine or feminine to be D-R-U-G-G-E-D'd and R-A-P-E'd on camera while they're all gossiping and they're all laughing about it. So they're going to get done for sex trafficking. They're going to get done for some sort of assault and some sort of identity theft. They're also getting done for identity theft. They didn't want to be revealed for being toxic, and they have been P-O-I-S-O-N-ing, masculine or feminine, and they're under investigation for that too. Okay, so they're under investigation for multiple crimes, and they don't want this to be set straight 1717, because a lot of people are going to be losing their job for helping this ex out, okay, who makes out like they're not a hater. They really care about masculine or feminine when they're doing all this. So they're a narcissist, and they've tricked and they've deluded a lot of people into helping them and tricked them all into their own demise. It's game over. It's game over. They've been getting anyone they can to get lippy online, in the streets, okay, friends, ex-friends even involved, these fake ass bitches of friends. So like bullying from all angles, and again this judge called for a gagging order because they thought that they was really strong. With this 9 of Swords, under this corrupt judge, even a judge is going to get found guilty. So there's a strong guilty energy where even a judge is going to get found guilty. Them and their friends, which with the 3 of Cups and this attorney, them, an attorney, lawyers, so lawyer, judge, solicitor, attorney and corrupt coppers, they're all going to get sentenced, they're all going to get charged, they're going to lose everything, okay, and they're going to be in the cell on their own, which is what they wanted for masculine or feminine. They wanted to have masculine or feminine on their own, okay, some sort of control, forcing power of attorney. They wanted to end masculine or feminine, D-R-U-G, masculine or feminine, have them knocked out while they get R-A-P-E-D'd. Have that uploaded online, so then, because if masculine or feminine is seen as some sort of star, they could go, oh yeah, 1919, I've got a video of him or her knocked out while, you know, while we knocked them out, we had them outnumbered. We've been trying to put hits out on them, which is what they've been doing. They've been putting hits out, outnumbering masculine or feminine, several different more hits out, and then DRUGGING, this victim. So then they can be like, oh look, yeah, here's this masculine or feminine. I've got videos of them knocked out. I've got videos of them getting slammed, this corrupt judge and this corrupt attorney, them and their friends. I've got videos of them. This is why they're all going to get found guilty, because they're linking to sex trafficking and forcing some sort of power of attorney, okay, deliberately trying to get masculine or feminine mad, angry, trying to end masculine or feminine with an ex and some sort of family and some sort of friends, and they've been trying to conceal some sort of evidence and get rid of evidence and play the mental health card so they can keep acting like big man, big woman. We've got some sort of computer hacking. They have some sort of passwords, and we've got Ace of Pentacles in reverse. They've been selling some images online. There's going to be justice. Even abroad with this dysfunctional family, and they've all been lying. They've been taking some sort of gift, some sort of money. They've been taking like innocence, okay? They've been ripping that innocence off masculine or feminine, and then with the 9 of Wands in reverse, while they're trampling all over masculine or feminine and think they can walk all over masculine or feminine through law, saying that you can't stand up and defend yourself against all us because we're too strong, we're too powerful, there's too many of us, we've got everyone in our pockets, and so they're all going to get done. Yeah, they're all going to get found guilty. Every single one of them's going to get found guilty. They just wanted to eat well, okay? There is a bad mother figure who's also involved, alright? They just wanted to eat well. They all wanted to eat well off the back of this masculine or feminine, okay? A lot of underhanded behaviour, transferring money, wire fraud, banking, online banking, transferring money from accounts to accounts again. They're all going to get found guilty. They just wanted to eat well. And we have a bad mother figure who's also involved. And with the 3 of Wands and the Princess of Cups, they don't want to see masculine or feminine have another baby or another child or have a baby with anybody else. So they do not want to see masculine or feminine have a new beginning. So this ex is even trying to have control over love life, and if wants some sort of a say-so whether masculine or feminine can go and get in another relationship with somebody else, okay, and have a child or a baby with somebody else. So they just want full dominion, and corrupt law's been helping. Corrupt government organisation has been helping them, because this ex thinks that they should have some sort of a say-so if their ex should be able to move forward after everything what they've been doing, and if they get in another relationship, they will have these rats for the streets, they will have them gang stalked, okay, they will have them chased away, okay, they will have probably hits put out on them, a hit and run, okay, they will have them outnumbered, they will scare them into some sort of submission, and they will chase them away because they don't want to see masculine or feminine have another child or have a baby with anybody else other than them. So corrupt law, a misogynistic group, even though there is women involved, they've all been caught. So even women, okay, men and women, want to dictate whether masculine or feminine should be able to get into another relationship And if they do, they want some sort of cameras, they want to be peeking on in, they want to watch, okay, whoever they are dating. Corrupt law have been trying to burn some sort of evidence of their level of involvement. We've got 8 of Swords in reverse because they don't want to go to prison for what they've been doing. They don't want, again, someone to piece this puzzle together. They just wanted to be showered in some sort of riches, which was never even theirs to take. So we've got a lot of corrupt law. Somebody could be writing a book about this. You could be writing a book. You could be writing a story. You could be writing about this online, writing about an ex and how they have tried to keep you in isolation, okay, have you some sort of like micromanage, have you been watched, have you been traumatized, wanting to take control of some sort of success, okay, wanting to take control of full life. 5 of Cups, and they want to see you losing control with all these hits out, okay, with all this poisoning, okay, with all this stalking, with all this underhanded behaviour, and with collaborating together to cause stress. Collaborating together to cause some sort of stress. With the 8 of Wands, okay, and the 2 of Cups in reverse, this is going to hit the news. This is going to hit the news. There could be a couple of exes involved in this, okay? A couple of like narcissistic exes who's all collaborated together to run masculine or feminine's name through the mill and keep ripping everything away from them and all smiling about it. Again, they wanted to eat well. They wanted the fruits of masculine or feminine's labour. Again, they just wanted to keep running masculine or feminine through the mill with this corrupt police officer with the high priestess in reverse who wasn't listening to the intuition. They didn't care. 7 of Swords in reverse again, they'd been caught out. They wasn't listening to their intuition. They was just going for it because they thought that they was above the law. And with the 9 of Wands in reverse, no one's going to want to defend these in the courtroom, okay, because it's going to be some sort of a unanimous decision. We've got 2 of Wands. They was making some sort of deals with the devil. They thought that they had some sort of power because there was devil worshippers. They thought that by teaming up with the devil and darkness that they could just keep bringing chaos. 4 of Wands in reverse, some sort of a ruthless hometown. Ruthless lawyers, judges, solicitors, okay, who wanted to bring some sort of chaos, who wanted to keep bringing some sort of traumatic events. I mean, several different hits out. We've got poisoning, drugging, okay, we've got trafficking, some sort of assault uploaded online, corrupt law officials in local hometown, bearing some sort of evidence. 3 of Swords, there's been a lot of heartbreak. There's been a lot of heartbreak. Justice. Again, this is going to hit the news. Again, this is going to hit the news. There is going to be some sort of justice, and maybe even people overseas and abroad, they're going to get this news. The news is going to hit them on how they invest in playing mind games. And we've got 9 of Cups in reverse. They're having nightmares. They invest in playing mind games. Oh, look, what we're doing. Don't listen to them. Call them a nutter. And we'll just keep this up and running. We'll just keep passing these GUNs around, okay? We'll keep drugging, sex, trafficking, masculine or feminine, uploading these images online and have them outnumbered. And we'll just keep up this cycle up and running of trying to end masculine or feminine. Again, a lot of underhanded behaviour. Them and their pals. It could be somebody who works within housing, okay, somebody who works landlord or like a housing association, or somebody works in buying or selling houses and they have friends who work within mental health, because these type of people have friends in all areas, and they've also been playing mind games with child or children as well, or they could have been doing these mind games and playing these mind games since masculine or feminine was a child, since they was a baby, gaslighting, okay? because they romanticise and fantasise about avoiding judgment and getting away with what they've been doing for a substantially long amount of time, and they invested in trying to bring an end in, okay? And we've got some sort of foreign, they could have used somebody like some sort of foreigner, or they could have tried to P-E-I-S-O-N, masculine or feminine, with some sort of foreign bodies, because these enemies wanted to bring masculine or feminine down. Again, with the Nine of Cups in reverse, they're having nightmares, okay, at people turning round and pointing the finger at them and pointing them out for what they've been doing. Five of Pentacles in reverse, they wanted to come out of poverty. They're lacking structure, okay, and we have a masculine energy who was doing spell work with the Seven of Cups in reverse, a masculine energy who's been spending some money and wanted to be seen as some sort of bachelor or some sort of a party boy, okay, who's been propping themselves up at a bar, and they thought that they was getting away with it. Nine of Pentacles in reverse. If they've built some sort of business or financial stability off the back of this, they're going to lose everything. Six of Cups in reverse have been very childish. They could have some sort of money in a foreign account, an offshore overseas account. Ace of Swords, that's as true. Two of Pentacles, they was transferring it, okay? They was transferring money to an offshore overseas account because they don't want to lose this money, what they have taken hold of, because I'm getting it's a lot of money. They've been making deals, okay, to block, because they want to play happy families. They want to play rich, they want to play successful, and they want some sort of public recognition. They want some sort of stardom, okay? So they've all been playing happy families, something to do with maybe Rainbow Baby. Playing happy families. They've been making deals to try and block some sort of reunion, block some sort of happiness, where they all trot around acting all successful, and they're all in bath in their energy. Six of Wands in reverse, they could have done some sort of hunting. They could have been hunting this masculine or feminine down. Obviously, if they've been doing the hits out, they've been hunting masculine or feminine down. A lot of Capricorn energy, and it's a false victory. They've teamed up and they've ended people before, and they've got away with it. So they're all linking to attempted endings, okay? Something to do with the dark web, okay? And also somebody who works within mental health services, doctors, nurses, psychiatrists. They've been manipulating and tampering with medical records because they think they're really powerful, because the devil worshippers, so the Luciferians. But somebody is piecing this puzzle together, okay? All these people who was competing to rip masculine or feminine's life apart surrounding taking this Ten of Pentacles, they wanted to keep it a secret with the Moon card, and they tried to sacrifice masculine or feminine multiple times since they was a baby throughout their childhood. They could have tried to sacrifice masculine or feminine's child or children because they don't want to go to prison. They want to keep moving forward. We've got somebody who works in a bank who's losing their job, who also got involved in sacrificing. So somebody who works in a bank who's losing their job, they're having nightmares because this sacrifice cannot be done. And now, if it's linking to a cult or coven, they're all turning on each other. They're all turning on each other. They're involved in child ending, okay? And they've done this many a times. Again, they're all losing their job. Every single one of them is losing their job. This could be this good law official who's working with other good law officials, okay? Who's got like these raids and stuff mapped out. We've got a boat here. Doors are going to get booted through, okay? Doors are going to get booted through. They're lacking compassion, they're lacking empathy, they're lacking remorse. Even this masculine energy who's been propped up at a bar, who's not been listening to their intuition, propped up at a bar, partying, celebrating from dysfunctional family. They've just been partying and celebrating, and they thought that they was getting away with it. So quite possibly, while this has all been going down, and someone in this energy has been partying and celebrating, they've been getting watched and they've been getting recorded. They've been getting watched and they've been getting recorded. So that's going to be presented in some sort of a courtroom, that while they're trying to pass GUNs around to pop masculine or feminine, POISON masculine or feminine, SEX traffic masculine feminine, take their money. Because there were so many people involved, they all thought that they was going to get away with it. And they're being propped up at a bar party and celebrating, pissing money up the wall that was never even theirs in the first place. They wanted to cheat their way to the top, which is what they've been doing. They've been trying to cheat their way to the top. Again, trying to delete evidence, burn evidence. They don't want to hear that they are under investigation. So again, even while they've been out partying, celebrating, all joining forces, they didn't want other people to know how much of a bad choice like they've been making and what they've been doing, which is committing crimes, cover crime, and attempted ending multiple times in many different ways. And they just thought that they was going to get away with it, but they're very dumb. They're very dumb, and they've also been spending some stolen money on SEX partners. So they've been, some of them partying, celebrating, and then they've been spending money on sexual partners, okay? And they could have also, for some, false reported masculine or feminine for being some sort of a sex worker while they was all working together to manipulate, lie and control, and to actually traffic masculine or feminine and have some sort of images uploaded online. And because they don't want this to come out with fake friends, they've tried to end masculine or feminine and totally assassinate character. And then with what they've been doing, they want this masculine or feminine to feel really insecure about themselves, because these fake friends, these street rats, have some sort of indecent images of one of their own friends, what they've been watching online, and they've been watching this online. Okay, so even fake friends have been getting involved in stalking and some sort of sexual abuse, because they don't want their own so-called friend to be confident, okay? And if they're ever out in the public eye and this ever comes out, okay, they'll be like, yeah, look, I've got a picture, I've got a video, I've got something of them, alright, what we're uploading online. Get on this website here, 3737, and you can watch them online while we're DRUGGIN-ing them and taking whatever we want, because we've got friends in all areas and we've got it all mapped out. So it could be linking to some sort of a sex cult or coven. And anybody who's investigating them, they could also be trying to put HITs out on them. So actually trying to put a HIT out on these undercover investigators, and actually trying to DRUGS these undercover investigators also. So it is game over, because these good law officials, they tried to POISON them and DRUG them, and they don't want to be revealed for a jealous, envious, manipulating, bitter little bitch, basically, who wanted to destroy the original because they wanted to be this copycat. So they wanted to destroy the original and take on masculine or feminine's full identity. So it's linking to identity theft, identity fraud. They wanted to destroy the original and become. So there's a lot of copycats. They wanted to destroy the original and become this masculine or feminine, take on their full life, their full identity, take on their very essence. have the original gang stalked, okay, have the original poisoned, drugged, okay, hits out on the original, have them sex traffic, have them some sort of like ritual abuse, be able to watch them wherever they walk, okay, have people set off on the roads, all these street rats, all these backstabbers, none of them to be trusted around anybody who's got any money, anyone who's got anything about them, okay, anyone who's trying to be like do something with their life, they're not to be trusted, because they instantly get jealous, and then because they've got away with this for a long time, they want to take on their identity too. They could also have masculine or feminines, like some sort of identity of masculine or feminine, and opened up a bank account and cashing checks, fraudulent bank account, and they could have tried to get away with that. Maybe they're thinking about running away to get away from their pending charges. Everybody who joined forces and teamed together to kick masculine or feminine to curb, they've been doing sex magic. They don't want to apologise for what they've done. They really don't want to apologise for what they've done, because they're all narcissists. So we've got getting played, manipulation, lies, control, and we've got divorce, breaking contract. They could have actually sent somebody in towards masculine or feminine, or wanting to send somebody into masculine or feminine. A narcissist, okay, to manipulate, to continue this manipulation, talk about marriage, get some sort of like feet under the table, wanting to marry masculine or feminine, so they can gain some sort of control. There's a lot of like puppets on a string, okay, so people are just being used, these little muppets are being used as puppets. These muppets are being used as puppets, alright? And again, it's linking to sex trafficking. And there's even actual sex workers who are involved in this, who are willing sex workers, okay, who are trying to get somebody trafficked who doesn't want to be, well, have anything like that done to them. I mean, who's going to want that uploaded online? But there is some sort of sex workers who are also involved, and they're fighting to keep up some sort of child trafficking ring up. They could have copied a signature with this divorce breaking contract. They could have copied a signature, and they could have actually, without masculine or feminine's knowledge, married masculine or feminine without their knowledge, so then they can take hold of absolutely everything again. So this is like a battle to keep taking hold of some sort of wealth what's not even theirs to take. There's that many people involved. It's unbelievable. There's that many people involved. It's unbelievable. So in order to take hold of some sort of wealth, they could have copied some sort of signature and married masculine or feminine without their knowledge. That's just for some. In order, and manipulated in order to keep control. And there's a lot of fighting, a lot of battling to keep some sort of sex trafficking up, where they drug or poison or sedate their victims and have things done to them, and that uploaded online, and corrupt law officials, again, they're involved. We've got game over. It's game over for all these who's been manipulating, lying to control the narrative, for anyone who's been stealing identity, because it is linking to identity theft. It's game over for every single one of them. Any one of these who were cashing checks into their bank accounts, they're all going down. They've tried to have some sort of unprotected sex with masculine or feminine whilst they was out for the count, and they're trying to get away with what they've been doing. They was all keeping promises to each other, okay, to try and cover each other's backs, cover each other's tracks. And if masculine or feminine didn't want to get promiscuous with anybody in this corrupt government organisation, this dysfunctional family, okay, they was 4433, DRUGGING, masculine or feminine, if they didn't want to have SEX, okay, and they was taking that and uploading that online and trying to monetize off it. Trying to monetize off it. Somebody who is involved in this could actually be pregnant right now, and they've been trash talking the original and didn't think again anybody would ever dare investigate them, because there's a lot of people in a hometown who's involved and they don't want other people to know the truth. They don't want people to know how much of a fuck up they actually are, because this has been going on for so long, where they've been DRUGing, okay? They've been sedating their victims, and then whilst they are doing this, whilst they are planning this, there's been a lot of people getting lippy and gobby and bullying online, so then they can play mental card, get your mental health tablets, okay, knock the victim out, and they really don't want to apologise. They really don't. There's a lot of reactive abuse, a lot of rage baiting, and they did try and get rid of some sort of evidence, but there's accounts getting backed up, okay, mobile phone networks, internet provider, IP addresses, all this premeditated, they've all been caught. Okay, somebody in this connection, for what they've done previous, they could have got cautioned, alright? They could have got released on bail, and they carried on. So once they got released on bail after getting some sort of caution, they carried on getting lippy. They carried on getting lippy. And again, in this connection, their masculine or feminine's ex doesn't want to see you, or masculine or feminine, have a child with anybody other than them. So basically there's a lot of like dictators, a lot of people who think that they can dictate whether masculine or feminine can get in another relationship, whether masculine or feminine could ever get justice, whether masculine or feminine, whether they want sex or not. In this group, they will do everything they can by false reporting or poisoning or drugging, and then they will take that, because they just want to destroy masculine or feminine, and they get in their feels. They get in their feels and they think, oh, it's alright if I want to go in there and take it, because we've got corrupt law, we've got exes, we've got ex-friends, we've got family all involved in this, and if we want to go in there and we want to take that with corrupt medical staff, okay, corrupt law, then this has been persistent and it's been up and running, yeah, and we will DRUGS them, okay, and we will take that. They don't like anyone who's got a brain, okay, because again, they don't want the record to be set straight. They could have labelled masculine or feminine as depressed, or wrong, some sort of like depression, or don't listen to depressed, don't listen to this, that, the other, when all these are absolute psychopaths, okay, and what they've been doing is far beyond any sort of mental health help, okay, because no tablet is going to fix this, alright. The only thing what is going to fix this situation is to have these people locked up for life, because the more they get released on like bail or something like that, okay, the more they're going to keep trying to keep this up and running, because of all the sort of haters, any way, shape or form, because they want to be this masculine or feminine, yet they hate this masculine or feminine, which doesn't really make sense, does it? Run away, and there is something to do with DRUGS trafficking, okay, taking some sort of big pharma drugs, dispensing them as street drugs, and trying to destroy some sort of evidence, because, well, they get angry if masculine or feminine ever speaks out about them watching them or stalking. They get angry, okay, and then they want to put hits out, or they want to just constantly keep this repetitive cycle. So basically they don't want masculine or feminine to speak out, and again some sort of a judge has called for a gagging order because they're well involved. They're well connected. They're a wolf in sheep's clothing, and they like to take other people's innocence, okay? So we've got a judge who likes to take other people's innocence, who's probably uploading child S abuse and adult S assault online, and they invested with this family to try and keep it a secret, okay, and wanted to start some sort of malicious gossip through the court proceedings because they wanted some sort of recognition. Yeah, bad messages. Again, they've not been listening to their intuition. They've not been listening to that intuition. They could have tried to block some sort of download, but they invested, a lot of them, and there's a lot of bad messages to and from with all this premeditated ending, with this premeditated sex trafficking, with premeditated DRUG, alright, victim, okay, some sort of mental health services, 2 pentacles in reverse. What they've been doing is dangerous, low vibrational, and they just want to be on top, okay? They just want to be on top. Gambling, dicing with masculine or feminine's life, these haters, they want to be on top. They want to be seen as more powerful. They want to be at the top of this wheel of fortune from all their very severe illegal activity. We've got a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, or this could be a corrupt law official who's also trying to get away. 9 of Wands, because they defended the mentally weak, retarded people when they should have been working with Archangel Michael to defend and protect, and they didn't. They didn't, okay? They just wanted to feel strong themselves and powerful themselves. This is a female police officer who's also got involved in this premeditated ending. That's the truth, to avoid judgment. Oh, look, we've got justice. So basically, they're going to have to face justice. They're going to have to face a proper judge, okay, proper court proceeding, okay, where they're all going to get found guilty. They think they're going to avoid judgment, but they're going to get sentenced and charged for several different severe crimes. And this bad mother figure who got involved in a HIT man, a fake empress, a bad mother figure, doesn't want to be seen as an enemy, but wanted some sort of recognition, was sneak attacking, sneaking around, malicious gossip, then their partners, okay, their lovers, anyone who they had some sort of connection with, alright, they'd been very deceptive, but they was making out like there was a friend, were worried about you, were concerned about you, and it's linking to some sort of child S abuse. Again, they wasn't listening to their intuition. Then we have the Magician card in reverse, the Knight of Cups, and we've got King of Swords in reverse, a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. They've been doing sex magic, they've been doing black magic, left, right and centre, in order to control the narrative. So they've been doing this. And they've been doing love magic on child or children. Love magic on child or children. 4 of Wands in reverse is a very ruthless hometown, okay, involved in child S trafficking. None of them listen to their intuition. They love to try and block off other people's intuition. They love to do mental magic. We've got 10 of Swords in reverse. They've done a death hex, okay, and we've got 6 of Cups, and we've got the Devil card, okay. So they've even tried to manipulate child or children, okay. They've done this to a lot of children. And then they want the child or children to end themselves because of what they've been through, okay? Because there's never, ever, hardly, barely ever, in this local hometown where if anyone's been through some sort of child S abuse, the corrupt law, police, okay, lawyers, judges, solicitors, attorneys, they never bring justice. Because they're all well connected to a child S trafficking ring. They want to take that light, okay? They want to take that light. They want to take that passion. They want to take that light from masculine or feminine. That's what all these haters do, okay? And if these friends, these family members, if they hate you that much, then they will try and take your child or children's life, okay? That's just what they do. They target if you have child or children and you have any beef, with any of these, they will then instantly target the child or children and do everything they can to take their life or lie, because they want to believe that they're all powerful, but yet they're running away, because again, what they've done is dangerous and low vibrational, and they're all going to get locked up for a very long time. That's the truth, because Archangel Michael is bringing this to light. Again, it's linking to child trafficking, and it's Four of Wands in reverse. In this ruthless hometown, there's a lot of people, okay, who's been getting involved in child trafficking, okay, and a lot of people has been turning a blind eye and have been given either some money or some drugs to carry this sexual fantasy and to keep this trafficking ring up. Eight of Swords in reverse, because they don't want to go to prison for what they've done. So a lot of people have been paid hush money. These so-called adults, big men, big women, people who think that they're so-called strong and powerful, hard, whatever, they've been given some sort of drugs money, okay? Then they've also been getting involved in spreading some sort of bad news, playing mental, nutty, bar games to avoid judgment, and they're all going to have to appear before a judge for several different crimes or more. This is a good judge, okay, who works within the justice system. Okay, we've got Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, who's well involved in this, okay. They're all going to get sentenced and charged. They've got some sort of gang affiliation, and they've been battling against masculine or feminine since they was a child. Again, they invested with a lot of wolves in sheep's clothing to help them out with some sort of gang stalking, with some sort of bullying, nothing but bad messages, not listening to intuition, or they are trying to block off some sort of intuition. They could have gone to some sort of a dark high priestess and made some sort of deals to bring some sort of heartbreak, some sort of heartbreaking event, because they want masculine or feminine to lose some sort of passion. That's what they romanticise and fantasise about, losing passion, losing hope, losing faith, losing that light. Again, it was all premeditated, because they want to take some sort of gifts, some sort of money, that gift of innocence. They want to take that gift of life. They want to take that to avoid going to prison. We've got a good law official, okay? A good law official on the case, taking these several different HIT men, okay, who are heartless, money power hungry, heartless, yet they want to be seen as all powerful. They brought a lot of heartbreak, okay, they've ended a lot of people. They could be on some sort of social media, and they could be sneaking around on different social media accounts, okay. They could be uploading a lot. They want to be seen as successful, okay. Nobody wants to collaborate with them anymore. Nobody wants to collaborate with them and their partners anymore. Nobody wants to collaborate with them anymore. Again, this one's deep. Then their partners, okay, there's been a lot of people who's been involved. They was taking some sort of money, or drugs, because they've got a lack of conscience, a lack of empathy, a lack of remorse, okay. All they care about is themselves, and they was just dreaming about just getting a lot of drugs, okay. All organised online, okay. They're all severely mentally unstable, and they're all demonically possessed. Every single one of these enemies, every single one of these wolves in sheep's clothing, every single one who's linking to this gang, this cult, or this coven, they are severely, demonically possessed. But they're far beyond any sort of medication. They're far beyond an exorcism, because they're all heartless, they're all soulless, they're all empty vessels. They're all empty vessels. They're all empty vessels and want to act like big man, yet they don't want to face accountability for their crimes. With the Eight of Swords in reverse, they could have also worked together to try and set masculine or feminine up for crimes they've not committed, rage baiting masculine or feminine. If they stand up for themselves, They'll call the police, okay? They'll call an ambulance, get masculine or feminine locked up because they loved the thought of organising this. These demonically possessed, mentally unstable, mentally retarded people was organising this all online. You do this, okay? You do that, you do this. And they all had some certain sort of like jobs because they was drumming up a right crowd. All these heartless, soulless people and this very shit mother figure and this ex who all invested to bring conflicts because all wolves in sheep's clothing, they just viewed masculine or feminine as some sort of major competition. So they've all been competing against masculine or feminine when there is no competition there. There's no competition. There is no competition because they're not on this level of intelligence. So masculine or feminine maybe didn't know that they was in competition with so many people who wanted to cloak themselves in energy what was never even theirs. Very, very childish, very unhappy in their own life, very unhappy in their own life. That's why they want to rip other people's lives apart because they're dumb. That's why, because they want to rip everything off other people because they want to eat well. They even want to rip other people's children away from them because that's what they've been fantasising about, okay? So maybe involved in false reporting to social services, okay? Paying them some money under the table because we all know social services nowadays are involved in child trafficking, child abduction, and we know social services are well involved in lying in notes, okay? So even social services involved, they was romanticising and fantasising about ripping masculine or feminine's full life apart because they're jealous of their level of intelligence. But because masculine or feminine's been outnumbered, they thought, oh, we'll never be judged for what we've done. We'll just rip everything apart and we'll invest together to bump masculine or feminine off with an X. So again, this is going to hit the news, and again, masculine or feminine could be writing about this on some sort of social media and wanting some sort of justice for a lot of heartbreaking events, what they've gone through. What they've gone through, because, well, if the shoe was on the other foot and anyone else went out and did this, they get locked up straight away, and they need locking on up. They need to be locked up and throw away the key. Even these corrupt attorney, even this corrupt judge, again, they're all going to get found guilty for their underhanded behaviour. All their emails, all their accounts, everything's getting backed up. Everything's going to get backed up. They even loved the thought of sacrificing masculine or feminine to cover up what they've been doing. So they're involved in being like Luciferian or something like that, sacrificing people to the devil in order to cover up. So probably linking to Freemasons, where they all protect and defend each other. They're all misogynist. They've all been caught, okay? Law is going to get changed. This X is being caught out. They love gossip, okay? Anybody who masculine or feminine has a barney with, has a bit of drama with, this X is straight up messaging them, trying to recruit them onto their team. Yeah, to trash talk. Anyone who envies this or hates this masculine or feminine or has like some sort of a fallout or a bit of a debate or a heated discussion, X is constantly trying to message them on social media, get hold of them some way, shape or form so they can trash talk, recruit more haters. Recruit more haters and do some sex magic on them, because this X and a lot of people are just involved in doing sex magic, love magic on a lot of people. This is why these Freemasons, these secret societies, okay, Eastern Stars, these cults and covens, they need to start going under investigation because they actually believe that they can get away with what they're doing. They're so dysfunctional. Six of Swords, this is going to like hit the news overseas, okay? and somebody's offshore overseas account, that's going to get shut down, their bank account as well. It's going to get shut down. 2 of Wands in reverse, these cowards. They're all cowards, okay? Anyone who stands up to try and defend themselves, they try and sacrifice them because they want to keep eating well. They want this luxurious life. Them and their pals, but they're all going to get locked up. They're going to throw away the key. Every single one of them involved is getting locked up. So there's like some sort of FBI, okay, Fed, CID, somebody like that, investigating them all, and they're going to be sentenced and charged accordingly. A lot of them are going to get life in prison.